All right, to discuss the Texas law, the Supreme Court's decision, and also what's next, we are joined by attorney Lisa Bloom. Lisa, I know you were very outspoken about this issue. Is this not a threat to Roe v. Wade nationwide?
Let's be clear, Roe v. Wade remains the law of the land. And Roe v. Wade from 1973 said that women have a fundamental constitutional right to choose whether or not to terminate a pregnancy. That remains the law. What is perplexing to me, and I read the Supreme Court decision very carefully that came down about midnight last night, they say that they're just not ready to rule on it yet because of the unique procedure that Texas passed. There's no government actor who enforces it. Instead, it's private citizens who can bring lawsuits for $10,000 against an abortion provider or anybody who aids and abets, like a mother, a best friend, an Uber driver. I mean, it's just crazy. And as the dissent points out, this is chilling women's opportunity to exercise their constitutional rights. So the court clearly should have stepped in. They failed to do so, but they have another chance when they hear a full hearing on the merits.
I mean, this is the highest court in the land. The fact that they didn't even step in here cannot be a good sign for that hearing on the merits itself. You know, where do you go from here if this law, stays?
Well, I spoke to an attorney from Planned Parenthood yesterday, and they have a very smart legal strategy in place. So that was their first shot at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said no at this stage. They emphasized they're not ruling on the merits. The next step will be to file federal court cases in Texas, perhaps state court cases as well. Texas set up this very cute system to try to avoid people being able to sue the government attorney general, who's usually the defendant in these cases. But the fact is that women in Texas right now cannot get an abortion. They have to travel hundreds and hundreds of miles to another state, and it's tough in those other states as well. And let's be clear about the implications. Women will die. Girls will die, just like they did before Roe v. Wade, because they'll do back alley abortions. They'll look something up online. They'll try to do something that's not medically safe, like abortion is. That's the concern, and that's the urgency. So I know that the advocates will continue to fight this.
Yeah, because, the 6 weeks, that's the detection of the heartbeat. And 6 weeks, most women don't even know that they're pregnant then.
That's correct. And at 6 weeks, the embryo, it's not even a fetus yet, it's an embryo, is the size of a poppy seed or a lentil. So they're looking for some kind of cardiac activity. I wouldn't even call it a heartbeat at that point. I mean, it's just really shocking. And let's be clear, there's no exception for rape or incest victims. There's no exception for a teenager who may have been sexually assaulted. I mean, nothing. There is just virtually no abortion left in the state of Texas, our second biggest state.
Yeah, there are a lot of political analysts that believe that this is the culmination of decades of work by a conservative movement that really has targeted the Supreme Court. Senator Mitch McConnell has made this priority #1 for him for years. Those 3 Trump appointees helping to decide here. Do you think that this is reason that Stephen Breyer, who is a Supreme Court justice, a liberal who is, getting older, should he retire right now while the Democrats are in control of the United States Senate?
He absolutely should. We have to be realistic. A generation ago, we used to think that the court was really above politics, but the Trump administration got to select 3 anti-abortion Supreme Court justices, and the decision last night was a 5-4. They were all in the 5 majority. Justice Breyer, I love him. He's been a great justice. It's time for him to step down so that President Biden can select his successor. We don't know what's going to happen even at the midterm elections. Typically, the party in power loses seats. The Democrats will probably lose seats, so he needs to do that right away.
What does it say that Chief Justice John Roberts, a Bush appointee, was part of the dissent?
It says that John Roberts wants to follow precedent, which is what the Supreme Court is supposed to do, whether they like it or not. I mean, in an unusual case, they might overturn precedent. They didn't do that last night, so they're supposed to continue to follow it. Justice Roberts is no liberal. For the most part, he is still on the right. He still rules with the conservatives, but occasionally he will rule in a different way. He will do the right thing, and that's what he did last night.
But because of that final Trump appointee, Amy Coney Barrett, John Roberts is no longer a swing justice on the court. He is now voting in the minority in those situations.
Well, that's right. And current Attorney General Merrick Garland, remember, was the Obama appointee who the Republicans refused to do an up or down vote on. He was supposed to be a Supreme Court justice. That would have tipped the balance too, but they failed to do that up or down vote.
All right, there's more to discuss on this, and Lisa's going to be joining us tomorrow night for our political show, The Issue Is, Friday at 10:30 here on Fox 11. Lisa, we'll see you then. Thanks for the insight now.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.